Hi guys, we're coming at you with a new lesson. Welcome back, Mr. Sanchez here with lesson 2-3, solving even more complex equations. What? Mr. Is Algebra 1 really just solving equations? Yes, but there's more. Today's learning targets are solve complex equations with variables on both sides, justify each step in the solution process, and we also need to write and solve equations to model real-world situations. So yes, it sounds very similar to do that 2-1. However, the equations we're going to be dealing with from now on are going to be a little bit more complex than what we're used to, and that's about it. All right, so let's just get started. Let's get to it. All right, so our first things first, we're going to solve the equation 3x minus 2 times quantity x plus 3 equals 5 minus 2x. And we're going to solve this using the algebraic method and providing an explanation for each step. All right. So first things first, we just got to rewrite our equation, and I like rewriting it in black. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is apply the distributive property. And that's something we haven't really spoken to about, but the first thing we're going to do is take care of this, okay? We're going to take care of this highlighted part. And to show you how we take care of it, I'm going to just show you on the side, okay? Well, not on the side, but remember, this is implied multiplication. And before we can do anything, we got to distribute this too. So we got to do 2 times x, right? And you're going to keep this is negative 2. We're going to have this negative right here. So it's negative 2 times x plus, and then negative 2 times 3. Okay? And then that's going to equal the rest. So 3x plus that is equal to 5 minus 2x. Alright? So this here was the distributive property. And we'll go over that a little bit more in detail later on. We're going to use the distributive property. And so our answer should end up being 3x. And then negative 2 times x is going to be negative 2x. And we'll keep that in red. And then negative 2 times 3 is going to be minus 6. Keep that in red too. And then everything else is going to stay the same. Next, what we're going to do is combine like terms. So we got to combine these two together. So 3x minus 2x is going to be x. Everything else stays the same. We're going to have x minus 6 is equal to 5 minus 2x. Remember that was combined like terms. And then the next part is we want to get x on one side of the equation, right? So we're going to look for the smaller x. Which is smaller, negative 2x or x? Well, negative numbers are always less smaller than positive, so we're going to get rid of this minus 2x. How do you get rid of the minus 2x? You're going to do plus 2x to both sides, right? This is going to go away. This becomes 5. This minus 6 stays the same. And then x plus 2x becomes 3x. This here is the addition property of equality. All right, and then all you gotta do is get rid of this minus 6. You do plus 6 to both sides, and that's gonna make this go away. And you're gonna get 3x is equal to 5 plus 6. That is 11. So that's the addition property as well. And now for the final step, all you gotta do is divide both sides by 3. You're gonna divide by 3, divide by 3. This is gonna go away. I'm going to get x is equal to 11 over 3. And that's the division property of equality. This first step is the hardest part of this step of this solving this equation is this part right here, and that's the distributive property. Remember, whenever you have something like that, a 5x plus 1, let's say you have something like this, right? What you're going to do is you're going to multiply 5 times x, right? Plus, and then you're going to do 5 times 1, right? And that's going to give you 5x plus 5. This is called the distributive property. And that's probably going to be the hardest part about this lesson, the distributive property. Okay? All right. So we're just going to go and do another example here. We're going to do the same thing for this one, but before we begin, this one's a little bit easier. We want to solve for p here. So you see you have this part right here. We're going to get this part by itself, so that means we got to get rid of this plus 1/5. How do you get rid of plus 1/5? We're going to do minus 1 over 5. Minus 1 over 5. This is going to go away. That's 0. And you're going to get 2 over 3p is equal to 3 over 5p. 3 over 5, this is the subtraction property of equality, right? Next, what you got to do is you're going to get rid of this denominator. So you're going to multiply both sides by 3. Right, this is going to go away. So now you're going to have 2p is equal to 9 over 5. Remember, you got an imaginary 1. This is the multiplication property. Right? And then the last step to get this p by itself, you're going to divide both sides by 2. This is going to go away. This is pretty simple. But remember, to do this, 9 over 5 divided by 2, is you're going to keep change flip, right? So you're going to put a minus 1. You're going to put over 1 here. And this is going to become 9 over 5. And I'll just write it down here. This is going to become 9 over 5. You're going to keep the first one. You're going to change multiplication to a division into multiplication. And then you're going to flip the fraction. You're going to put an invisible 1 here. And then you're going to flip it. And so now you can multiply across. 9 times 1 is 9. 5 times 2 is 10. So our answer is 9 over 10. All right. This doesn't have a step. That's just dividing. All right. Now I'm going to show you guys what to do if you have multiple fractions. All right. You see how you have multiple fractions on the bottom? I'm going to show you guys what to do if you want to get rid of those fractions, right? So you're going to write 3 down. You're going to write 4 and 6. Basically, all the numbers in the denominator, right? We have 4, we have a 6, and a 3, and a 4. What I want you guys to do is you're going to write the multiples of 3. So you're going to write 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, etc., right? You're going to write a couple of them, not all of them. And you're going to do the same thing for 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, etc. And you're going to do the same thing for 6. 6, 12, 18, etc. You're going to look for the number that's the smallest that they both all have in common. You see here, the first one you see is 12. All right? So now with this, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply by the least common multiple. In this case, we're going to multiply by 12, right? So we're going to multiply both sides of our equation by 12. All right? And this is what it's going to look like. You're going to rewrite this whole thing, right? You're going to have 3 over 4 a minus 1 over 6 is equal to 2 over 3 a plus 1 over 4. You're going to multiply both sides by the 12. And you're going to put parentheses around everything. 12 and 12. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to distribute the 12 twice. Right? So now you have 12 times 3 over 4a minus, because it's a minus, 12 times 1/6 And that's going to equal to 12 times 2 over 3a plus 12 times 1 over 4. Okay? Now, what is 12 divided by 4? Let's look at this part right here. 12 divided by 4, that's 3. Okay? 12 divided by 6, that's 2. 12 divided by 3, that's 4. 12 divided by 4, that's 3. So these go away. All right, so now we rewrite the problem like this. It's going to be 3 times 3a minus 2 times 1 is equal to 4 times 2a plus 3 times 1. You see this? We got rid of all the fractions. And if we simplify it some more, 3 times 3a is 9a. Minus 2 times 1 is negative 2. 4 times 2a is 8a. And then 3 plus times 1 is 3. And now we can solve this equation. It's not that hard, right? We're going to subtract both sides by 3. It's going to go away. And you're going to get 8a is equal to 9a minus 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can do it this way. And now we want to get the a on one side. So we're going to get rid of this 9a. We're going to do minus 9a minus 9a. This is going to become negative 1 is equal to negative a. And then you multiply both sides by negative 1. You multiply by negative 1 to both sides to get rid of the negative, by the way. And you're going to get a is equal to 1. All right? You're not going to get that many hard problems like this in the book, but it's important to go over this. All right? So if you need anything explained like this, just go over to the Zoom meetings. But we have one more example, and then we can call it a day, the word problem part. Yay. So this is coming straight from your book, okay? All right. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. All right. We'll start here, okay? It says, bags of maple granola cost $2 more. So maple granola costs $2 more than apple granola, okay? The order of the restaurant is 6 bags of maple granola and 5 bags of apple granola. The total cost is 56. So total cost is 56. All right. Now it's telling us that M represents the cost of maple granola. And then it says write an expression for the cost of 6 bags of maple granola. All right. So we're saying maple granola is equal to cost $M, right? We don't know what M is, but it's the cost of maple granola. So if you were to buy 6 of these, that's like buying 6 of them, right? So you're gonna do plus M 6 times, right? So the expression for 6 bags of maple granola is the price of the granola times 6, right? Because if you bought hot Cheetos, let's say hot Cheetos for $2, right? And you bought 6 of them, you're gonna pay $12. So it'll be like 6 times 2, right? 6 bags, each of them costs $2. So similar concept here, 6 bags, but they cost $M, okay? And now it says here, use the variable M to write an expression for the cost of a bag of apple granola. All right, now if you remember, apple granola, right here it says maple granola costs $2 more than apple, right? So M is apple plus 2, right? But we're trying to figure out what the apple granola is. So if that maple is $2 more than apple, we're saying apple is $2 less than maple granola. So we're going to say that apple granola is going to be the price of maple, which is M, right? The price of the maple, but it's $2 less than that. So to show $2 less, we're going to do -2, right? And now it says here, write an expression for the cost of 5 bags of apple granola, all right? So this here is the price of apple, right? So if the price of an apple granola is M -2, you can treat that as one thing, all right? And we're going to put parentheses around it, right? M -2, that's the price of one apple granola. If you want to buy 5 of them, you're going to be multiplying 5 to all of this, right? Same thing like here. If maple costs M and you're buying 6 of them, it's 6 times M. Right here, apple costs M, so you're going to do 5 times M -2. And then make this minus sign more bigger, right? And now, it gets easier. It gets easier. It says, write an equation that shows the cost of 6 bags of maple granola and 5 bags. Remember, so it costs $56. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the price of 6 maple granola and the price of 5 apple. And we know that equals to 56. So what we're saying is 6 maples plus 5 apples is equal to 56. Now remember, the price of 6 maple granolas, we already decided that. The 6 is this right here, right? So we know that the 6M, all right, and it's going to be plus the price of 5 apples of granola, apple granola, right? So 5 bags. So it's going to be 5M -2. And we're using this M -2 because this is the price of 5 bags of maple granola. And we're going to set that equal to $56. Okay? Now we got to do solve our equation and we're done. All right? So once again, we're going to use what we call the distributive property. And you're going to distribute this multiplication here. So it's going to be 5 times M minus 5 times 2. Everything else stays the same. And 6M is equal to 56, right? And now all we got to do is solve for the variable, right? So right here, we're going to simplify 5 times M is 5M. And then minus 5 plus 2 times 2 is going to be -10. And this is a plus sign. Oops. And it's going to be plus 6M equal to 56. First, we combine the like terms. 6 plus 5 is going to be 11M minus 10 is equal to 56. And then you're going to want to get rid of this minus 10 by doing plus 10. This is going to go away. And so then it's going to be 11M equal to 66. And let me just rewrite this over here. We have 11M equal to 66. Now to get M by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 11. It's going to go away. 66 divided by 11 is going to be $6. All right. So M is the price of maple granola. So maple granola is going to cost $6. And it says, and we got to find the price of the apple granola, right? Apple is $2 cheaper than maple. So what's 6 minus 2? It's going to be 4. This is the price. All right. And that's it. We're done. That just answers the question here in E. Solve the equation to find the cost of each type. So maple granola is 6. Apple is 4. All right. And that's basically it, guys. Have a nice day.